I wish I knew sign language because then I could like be with the movie. I don't, so I just have to quietly say like, "Welcome to TNC movie nights." But you can't do that when you're doing a show because people will be like, "What the hell's going on?" So I'm just, "Hi." That was it. That was the intro.
I was gonna say, I'm like, do I keep this in?
This
Do
is
I
the
delete
review.
this?
This is the review. We watched A Quiet Place. I don't know sign language, so I couldn't sign hello, welcome to movie nights. I also don't want to whisper for the whole show because that's just really annoying. So here we are with that. Hi, how are you? How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing well. I was hoping for just a full ASMR show, to be honest.
We got to get one of those mics with like the ears on it. And be like, I'm Brandon. I'm Alex.
I'll just find a way to go through the editing and pan every audio clip
God.
of each other. That would suck, but it would be funny. But I'm doing well.
Gosh.
I liked this. I liked it a lot. I really did. Just to like jump into it right away, but I thought I was kind of bored. It was really fun. I never thought I would enjoy a movie so much that has minimal to no dialogue almost for a lot of the movie and a lot of just no sound moments. It really makes you appreciate, as the reason we chose this movie to our episode that came out on Wednesday, of how important sound is. And they do such a good job to make the only times you hear sound to be such pivotal moments in the movie. And it was, oh my goodness, it was so well done.
Absolutely. There's actually, I wanted to bring this up and I forgot the name of it, so bear with me for 2 seconds. There's a behind the scenes little bit, and I'm a sucker for behind the scenes stuff, but whether you are or are not, check out the Sound of Darkness featurette for this movie, because they really break down how they managed to do this and how it was such like a challenge, but such a fun thing to do, because it's really hard to do everything silently. And a lot of people, they joked, like the crew was like, "Oh yeah, we're just gonna edit all this out. We can be as loud as we want." And it's like, no, it's the exact opposite. Actually, I need you to be as silent as you've ever been before. And the sound engineers and the Foley team and all that, they had to like really nail every single sound, and not just like woo big sound effects, like someone balling up some sand or like a footstep on a floor, because that's it. When you only have like 3 or 4 lines of dialogue and you only have limited amount of sound effects, you really have to nail them all. And big points to this movie because they nailed them all.
It's funny you bring that up, because originally when I was watching this movie, I thought the sound design, the sound editor for this movie must have had the easiest job ever. And I hope that was his only job, just so he can say he did sound design for a movie. And someone's like, "What movie did you do?" "A Quiet Place." It's like, he didn't do much. But to really think about it, because normal person would think, yeah, just they're going to do the movie, they're going to remove all the sound, and then put the sound in that they want. Simple enough. But they do keep the sound rolling, because it's not like there's just no sound, no audio. You still hear wind, you still hear leaves and brushing against things like that. So you still hear all that, but it was fascinating to see what they were able to do and manipulate sound so much that it was the movie.
Do you know what the most genius thing I think that they did, though, is you do hear the wind, you hear the grass, you hear, because they're in a cornfield, so you hear those noises, but you don't hear animals. You hear bugs, but you don't hear like songbirds or anything like that, other than like the raccoon thing, but they didn't last too long. Spoiler alert. But they did that on purpose, because they were like, they're trying to get lost in the world of like, okay, we live in a world with these creatures that hate sound. And so when they were putting in all that background noise, they didn't put in any birds, because they know they wouldn't have lasted. They didn't put in like a bunch of critters walking around in the background, because they're not going to last. So it was just bugs and then just like nature. Yeah. So you're like, oh my God, I never noticed that until I watched that little featurette, and I was like, oh my God, never would have thought of that, but it's so true. And so again, super bonus points for that. And also, just a really good movie. This movie is like a master class of show don't tell.
Yes.
You know how much of a sucker I am for that. I can't stand when movies are just narrated books. If I wanted to listen to an audiobook, I would have got an audiobook. But when when you only have like I said, like 5 lines of dialogue, really don't have a lot of room for exposition. So you're really into it, and you never felt lost, only curious. Um, and so when you're watching it, you're really into it, like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And you understand everything because you don't have to just say all of the things in order for people to get it. I mean, as dumb as people are collectively, we're pretty smart individually. We got it. I understand. Noise equals death. Cool. I got it. And also, like, kind of brutal, but
Yeah.
it was awesome.
I did have one problem with the movie, and it's being nitpicky. I'm being real nitpicky here, and
That's what we're here for.
yeah, it's part of the story, the plot line, and I understand because it's plot. You need it. Why would you get pregnant during this kind of time? You know, pregnancy and giving birth is probably one of the most excruciating pains anyone can withstand. And you're going to have someone do that when you cannot make noise for the rest of time, for your knowledge. That was my only issue with the movie. I was like, why it's been, because I thought it's been about a year. I forgot what the time jump was from when the little spoiler, when the son passes away. I forgot how long the time jump is, but she's definitely like 8-9 months pregnant at that point. And it's not like that was the day after all this started happening. This was already a jump into this happening. So I thought that was a little goofy. That's just me being nitpicky, because at that point you just don't have a baby, because that you're just asking to die. But movie altogether, it was great. It was a lot of fun. I was shocked how immersed I can get into a movie that had so little sound. Because anytime something happened with sound, you were just like, oh, like you kind of you got excited because you know it shouldn't happen.
Hmm. And I actually have a response for that pregnancy thing. But first, I want to say another thing about the sound is that you're totally right. Like every time any sound happens, it could be something that is totally normal for any other movie, but your heart just starts racing. And then I loved how they utilized the cutting away to his daughter's point of view and completely removing sound.
Yes.
No ambiance, no ambient sound, nothing. Sometimes in very, very busy, I'll say, scenes, there's a lot of stuff going on, and we cut to her and there's silence, and that feeling of not of just like helplessness and not being able to know what's kind of going on. That is a lot. It's just that feeling is so different than just a cheap jump scare.
Yeah, I
and I mean, agree. And they do it a couple times with like the raccoons, which we mentioned before, and it's a horror movie, so things are gonna startle you. But for those really, really scary times, to not just be cheap jump scares, but like the clicking sound as someone walks by, and you're like, oh my God, or just the sheer helplessness of seeing something going on and feeling the confusion with her. And you're just like, oh my God. But about the pregnancy thing, I was so in that boat too. Okay. I was like, what dumbass is going to get pregnant in the middle of all of this that's going on? What are you doing? And I watched those featurettes, and they said something that I was like, you know what? Okay, I respect that.
I want to take a guess.
Go for it.
Because they lost their kid, is that why they wanted to do it? That's just my guess. Does it have to tie in with them losing the boy?
Not exactly. Okay. The way that they described it is like she is so set on not giving up on life. Like with everything that's going on, she's not giving up on life. She's doing the exact opposite. She's creating life. She's bringing life into this. She's not letting it end her life and end life in general. So that sort of juxtaposition of I'm doing the opposite. I am bringing a life into this world. As practical as it sounds, it's really stupid. But I heard that and I was like, you know what? I don't hate that. Because it lends to her character too, because she's a badass in this movie.
Yeah, she is.
And so I was like, okay, you know what? I like that. So that was enough for me to be like, okay, I don't care anymore. It's not really a nitpicky thing. Now the only thing
Okay.
is like the sand. Like where do you get that much sand? But it's a farm, so they have stores. Who
Hmm.
knows? Maybe they raided a Home Depot or something.
Yeah.
And that's enough for me to get my brain to be like, actually, it's like, no, there's one thing that could happen.
Hmm.
And then I go, all right.
Okay. I like
Yeah.
that. I still am kind of with it, but it does make sense now. So thank you. I definitely do appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, realistically, I mean, there can't be a whole lot of problems with the movie that doesn't have a whole lot of dialogue because, as you and I love to tear apart dialogue in movies, that's when movies kind of get messy unless there's just terrible CGI. But I
Mhm.
mean, all in all, it was very enjoyable. It's kind of funny that we're doing almost a horror month at this point because we
For
have our
real. Like, Merry
watchathon.
Christmas, guys.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Horror movies. We didn't do it in October for some reason,
We
but
don't even like horror movies. What is
no,
wrong with us?
I know. It's funny because it's kind of on the opposites, at least for my knowledge, is that you just don't care for them on the I don't know. I don't want to say like the being scared side, but just I don't. I just get really bored, and that's kind of always been my thing with it because I know the way you talked about signs and the ring that you were just like, nope, that's terrifying. I'm never doing that again. So
Yep. But I will say, signs, okay, but The Ring is like
mhm.
good, and I like the good ones. I saw the newest It. I haven't seen part two, but the newest It is like really
I
good. I
yeah, it is.
appreciate them when they're good movies. But the other ones, it's like, why am I putting myself through this?
Hmm.
And also, it's just a crappy movie.
Yeah,
I'll do it. I'll put myself through that for a good movie.
yeah.
But if I'm gonna get out of this, like, well, my heart is racing. I might need to change my shorts, and also that movie sucked. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Be
Uh,
something else.
yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I'm definitely excited though for the watchathon coming up in 2 3 weeks, and we're still undecided on what movie we're gonna do. It's gonna be a horror movie. We want to try to make it a very good horror movie. So if you have any recommendations, let us know. We're kind of thinking about something like Us and Insidious, one of those top tier horror movies that is actually kind of scary. So yeah, let us know in the comments, tweet at us, message us on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you, and we're open to recommendations at any time. So definitely feel free to reach out.
Totally. Where can they reach out, Brandon?
Hold on one second. The nerd, the nerdchambers.com. Yeah, so yeah, you can reach us at all social media platforms. We're on everything. Our hub, though, is thenerdchambers.com. You can see all of our shows, the Meet the Team, different stuff that's been posted lately, our articles, all that kind of stuff, all in one hub, thenerdchambers.com. If you like one social media platform the most, we're probably on it at TNC Movie Nights. Real simple. But yeah, we also have a few giveaways going on, as we mentioned in the last episode as well. I'm going to keep this kind of short. TNC, twitch.tv,
Try again.
words are
Take
hard.
two.
Twitch.tv/TNC Penguin. 100 follower giveaway once we hit 100 followers, giving away a Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster Box. 250 followers on twitch.tv/The Nerd Chambers. That's 250 followers for a $100 PSN gift card. Finally, our last giveaway. Whoever has the most accurate predictions for the 2020 Game Awards, go to the Nerd Chambers Twitter. Fill that Google Doc out, put your Twitter handle up there, or reach out to whoever wins gets one free game off their Christmas list. Got those 3 giveaways. Go follow us. Go do stuff.
And
Oh,
the merch, too. Don't forget
oh
the
yeah.
merch.
And I got Commander and You, our Magic the Gathering
Check
show.
that out.
Yeah. So
That is rad.
it's a little tough in the light, but yeah, we got the little 5 different colors of the magic. And nice, simple design. I love it. Eric's killing it on that show. New episode dropped Monday. I want to say it's Monday or Tuesday this last week. So go back, check all of our other stuff out. YouTube, we got Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! All week. And we got, TNC Movie Nights. We had our Wednesday show that came out for the importance of sound. But yeah,
Also,
doing a
keep an
lot.
eye out for us, too. I know there's a lot of giveaways going on a lot of different
Yeah.
platforms, and none of them are this show. But it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to give away movie stuff when there's no movies.
Yeah.
So, it's happening. just not right this second. We want to give you something more than just like a pencil. Want to be able to let you go to the movies, but we can't even do that right now. So soon. But until then, go check out all the stuff that Brandon just said. Actually,
Yeah.
you're over there. Go check out all the stuff that Brandon just said.
All right.
That's all I got for you.
Awesome.
We talked about sound. We talked about A Quiet Place. I think we nailed it. We are so good at this. Oh my God.
We're getting
And
better.
on top of
We're
that,
getting better.
we're the most humble people in the world.
Oh, yeah. Like, no doubt. Two smartest movie people right here, but we're pretty humble about it. I mean, it's not like we got signs or anything. Just pull down a sign. I wish.
Oh, man.
It's been a fun
Say
time.
goodbye to the people, Brandon.
Bye, people.
Bye, peeps.